dwarfs. They're just like children.
We're mighty far from children, bitch queen.
Adorable. Bring me the...
Well, Grandma, what did you think of The Huntsman, Winter's War, which is sort of a sequel to the Snow White and the Huntsman movie of a few years ago, and it once again stars Chris Hemsworth as the Huntsman. But it does not star Snow White anywhere. We sort of talk about Snow White, but Snow White is not in this movie. It mainly focuses on the Huntsman and his sort of battle against the evil Ice Queen, played by Emily Blunt.
And her equally evil sister.
Well, yes, the evil stepmother that he defeated in the first movie with Snow White's help comes back in this movie, and he ends up having to fight both of them. But again, the majority of the movie is Chris Hemsworth and some dwarves and his Chris Hemsworth's girlfriend, played by Jessica Chastain, and their search for the magic mirror and all of their sort of adventures in this fairy tale. So what did you think?
I thought it did quite well as a fairy tale. There wasn't any doubt from the beginning that you had to suspend your disbelief and allow yourself to be immersed in this fairy tale world with all of the things that means, you know. Anything can happen in a fairy tale.
Well, that's sort of true.
And so the Huntsman was suitably heroic. You know, you had to pull for him. He was the good guy, and
okay.
you had to also support their mission, which was to, in my opinion, to verify the value of love. Since the Ice Queen, who was at the beginning of the film in charge of their lives, she said love was a sin in her kingdom, and if you were going to be in her kingdom, you had to accept that as the law of the land. Well, love will have its say, and they spent the rest of the story verifying that. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed it. I didn't have any idea what to expect. I knew Chris Hemsworth was going to be, you know, the not exactly knight in shining armor, but he was the good guy and he knew how to fight, and all these fighting techniques he had, swords, spears. Sarah was the marksman with the bow and arrow.
His girlfriend.
Yes, she never missed, and that was an important detail in the story. I thought the special effects were really well done. You know, all of the magical things that happened that had to be created by the special effects folks. The acting was very satisfactory. I was convinced by Chris Hemsworth that he was able to be the good guy here and rescue everyone, even though his plan didn't work too well. Had to have the dwarf folks help him. That was interesting. I enjoyed the music too. I liked the sounds that they used to support the magical story. It was an enjoyable way to spend the afternoon.
Oh.
I enjoyed it. Okay. What did you think?
Well, it was interesting.
I mean, we don't see a fairy tale in every movie. You know?
Well, no, we don't. Again, it was interesting, but I did not think it was very good. I think that the production was all very impressive. The sets, the special effects, the costumes, etc., etc. The actors all tried really hard. I mean, with these sort of fantasy fairy tale characters, you know, you would think it would be hard to keep a straight face sometimes, some of the things that they have to do, but they all, again, they got into it, and they
Suspension
tried.
of disbelief.
They tried really hard.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the problem was really sort of the story and the script and the dialogue, and all of that was just had a lot of problems. The thing that I thought was interesting about all of that was, again, how do you write a story where, again, one of the main characters is the bear? And just seeing how they were able to try to write the story without Snow White in the movie, which, again, Snow White is still one of the main characters in this world, and she was not in the movie. And they sort of wrote around her, and I thought that was sort of interesting.
Referred to her and her kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, they basically had to create a whole new fairy tale. Again, this story is an original fairy tale using some characters we've seen before, and, you know, some sort of.
But they wrote another story.
Yeah, but it's a whole.
Them in it.
You know, it's a whole different,
Yeah.
and having to do that is not easy. And I you know, I give them credit for trying, but again, it just didn't. You know, you can't. You know, writing a Lord of the Rings or some sort of fairy tale fantasy thing out of nothing is not easy. And again, they tried, but I just don't think they succeed. They just sort of like threw in a bunch of stuff and expected it all to work, and it didn't really work. It didn't all sort of mesh together, and I just didn't think it was any good. Again, it was interesting to sort of see those things, but it wasn't worth going to it, I don't think.
Well, I disagree with you there. I did enjoy it.
So what's your
And I
report card?
I give it 1 thumb. It sounds to me like not only you not sideways thumbing, but you're downward thumbing. But I give it 1 thumb. Not a 2 thumb, but I did enjoy it. If you enjoy fairy tales, you want to see a fairy tale, go to see The Huntsman. It's definitely a fairy tale.
They certainly hope it is.
I think so, yes.
Okay, well, that's